Rev up your engines!
Well, now the UAW says they're going to strike on Stellantis because they're closing down factories. They're not doing what they promised in their labor negotiations, supposedly. But the bottom line is Stellantis makes crappy vehicles, right? So Stellantis, the company itself, has to cut costs because people aren't buying their crappy vehicles. You can't continue to make them. I mean, the two worst sellers, the Jeep Gladiator and I believe the Wrangler, they can't get rid of them. They got thousands of them lying around in lots. These guys going on strike against them with Stellantis, the UAW, they might even play into Stellantis' hands that, they'll just shut all the factories down. What are they going to sue Stellantis? You shut the factory down. We're going to sue you. Hey, a company leaves, they're gone, right? You could sue them all you want, but you're not going to get anywhere. Stellantis says in their statement against the strike doesn't benefit anyone, our customers, our dealers, the community, and most importantly, our employees. Like they give a rat's behind about their employees. We all know that's just doublespeak coming out of their mouths. So basically, Stellantis is delaying reopening its Belvidere, Illinois assembly plant, and then they're moving production of the Dodge Durango to Canada from Detroit. Well, where do they start moving everything down to Mexico? That Chrysler and Ram already have made a lot of stuff down in Mexico. They push for more money. Guess what? Stellantis will just leave the country. It's a European company anyways. They don't care about America. And they further whine. They say Stellantis was going to make a new $3.2 billion battery plant and build a $100 million parts distribution center. But now they said they're not going to launch it and that they're not even going to start production in 2025. They're going to be even further in the future. And that their plans to make the Belvidere plant make mid-size electric trucks, that's also been delayed. Well, of course it's delayed. Nobody's buying their stupid electric vehicles. It all comes down to total escapism on both sides. One side doesn't want to pay anybody anything, and it's a European company. They only care about what's happening there. The other side, they want to get paid as much as possible, but both sides basically make crappy vehicles. The company designs them and they're built poorly. So they're both arguing while the ship is sinking. Eventually the ship will be completely underwater and they'll be treading for water wondering what happened. You don't make quality products. People aren't going to get guaranteed pay because eventually people stop buying them. The company will go out of business. Or they'll move entirely out of the United States. Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, everything, they moved a bunch of their production to Mexico. Now they're planning on moving more to Canada because it costs too much in the United States. Sometimes what do they say? You can't have your cake and eat it too. And in this case, both sides are in the wrong. And to me, it's a triple wrong because the unions are wrong, the manufacturers are wrong, and the vehicles themselves are wrong. So 3 wrongs don't make a right, and 3 strikes, you're out. Now, here's something about Jeeps. I laughed my butt off. Their sales are going way down. And so their CEO, Tavares, says, we're going to radically change things so we can start selling them like hotcakes again. Right? Now, the main problem is, well, there's 2 problems. One, they're built like crap, and they're not going to do anything about that. So they'll probably still make them like crap, but they're expensive crap. To give you an idea, the average transaction price on a new Jeep was $39,000 pre-COVID. Now it's over $54,000. Well, I just read some local stuff and some national stuff. Now Jeep says, we're lowering our price. We're giving 0% financing. We're lowering the price on Jeeps, But we're going to turn around, Sister Tavares. We've got our electric Jeep coming up. It's going to be the 2024 Jeep Wagoneer S. And what are they starting at? 72,000 smackers. Oh, yeah. We're going to lower our prices. Okay, we're going to come up with a new Jeep electric. That's going to start at 72,000. Wacko, they're telling you they're lowering prices. And then we're going to be saved by an electric vehicle. Of course, it'll be a pile of junk. Nobody will want to buy it anyway. But it's starting at 72 grand, It's just these people live in the real world, We'll lower the prices. But we got a new one coming out. Just wait. It only starts at $72,000. I do not know who is in charge of that company. I mean, I met a guy who bought one of those grand Wagoneer things that they had, right? And it was $125,000. The guy bought it. I'm like, who would pay that kind of money for a Jeep? You got to be out of your mind. And then they wonder, gee, why aren't these things selling? 1, because they cost too much, and 2, which you're never going to admit because you make them, they're not made all that well. I had customers with Jeep Gladiators go through 2 or 3 of the diesel engines in them because they were those crappy Italian junker diesel engines. Now they're on the 3rd generation of that Italian diesel engine, and they're still having problems with them. I mean, come on. If you don't fix your quality, eventually even stupid people wise up and say, that Jeep, that's the last one I'll buy. It was a pile of junk. And then how are you going to get people to buy them? You can charge whatever you want. Free interest rate, free TVs, whatever. People are going to be wising up and they're not going to buy the things because the quality isn't there. Well, the feds are cutting the interest rates by 0.5 point and they're getting aggressive. They think, well, we'll cut the interest rate. Oh, it's going to stop inflation. No, it isn't. These people are living in the past where they have these economic models that have nothing to do with modern society whatsoever. If you cut the interest rate, people will buy more crap with credit cards because the interest rates are lower and the prices of stuff will go up because people keep buying if the interest rate's lower. Any fool can see what's going on is that for the first time ever, the United States interest on debt the government borrowed was over $1 trillion. Just the interest. That never happened before. Well, the government works on borrowed money. So, of course, it's to their interest to lower the interest rates so they can borrow it cheaper. I mean, for the past 20 years, it's been an absurd low. It makes no sense whatsoever. Everything costs more. They act like we don't live in an inflationary economy. It's total baloney. We only have 2% inflation. What a line of horse manure. Buy a car, pay your insurance. Everything is up, right? This myth that we live in a non-inflationary economy is out of their minds. And if these clowns think they can control the thing by taking 0.5 point off, sort of like the blind leading the blind here. They don't know what's going on. We'll see what happens. They're just trying to do it for the election, obviously, Trying to make things look better before the election. We don't want everything falling apart right before the election. And since they're in power, they want to get elected again. But for us real people living in the real world, guess what? Things cost a whole bunch more than it did. And this nonsense that we have 2% inflation a year is just continued by these economic clowns in Washington and politicians who want to hide us from the truth. Well, Volkswagen is halting ID.4 production in the U.S. after they had 100,000 cars recalled because the doors might open and stuff. Well, it's probably more than you might think. Volkswagen says we're going to temporarily halt production of the ID.4. And according to Volkswagen, the production could last until the beginning of next year as it works to resolve the issue, they say, right? Might take us a while to resolve this issue. Horse manure. People aren't buying their stupid ID.4 electric cars. As one person who commented this news says, and I agree wholeheartedly, so they're halting production for months and furloughing workers because of this door handle thing? It doesn't make much sense. Are they really halting because they can't sell the vehicles? Yeah, I agree entirely. They pushed this electric stuff too fast. Volkswagen had problems with their vehicles anyway, and now they're pushing out new electric vehicles, which they're having problems with. And now they're saying, well, we're going to halt production maybe till next year, okay? It's only September now, so you got September, October, November, December. That's 4 months, right? They just are using it as an excuse because nobody's buying the stupid things. Just like these battery factories are shutting down, and the ones that they were going to build new battery factories for electric cars, they're not going to start building. Well, it all comes down to one thing. People don't want these stupid electric cars, whether the government pushes it or not. At least as it stands today, we're not in George Orwell's 1984. They can't force us to buy something that we don't want to buy. And now, of course, it's going to get the manufacturers because if nobody buys them, it makes no sense building the stupid things. They'll just sit in a field rotting away, not making any money. And what a lot of people don't understand that don't know the car business. Car dealers themselves, 90-something%, they don't own the cars on a lot. They have a big loan for millions from banks. And then every month, they got to pay the note on the cars they don't sell. So they don't want to have 10 electric cars sitting on their lot for 10 months or 12 months because they have to pay each month for it. So kind of shows you it's a dominoes effect. And now, well, we got a door handle problem. Well, we'll stop making them for 4 months. Ha! That's all I gotta say. Now, things have gone this far in Australia that people have to guard their own driveways. Well, this guy in Australia, turns out he's between two very popular pubs, bars in Australia. And drunken people were coming and peeing in his driveway and leaving beer bottles and stuff all over the place. He tried everything, cameras, sirens. Well, now he's got a really cool system he installed. It's an auto sprinkler. So when the people come in, walk in his driveway to pee, all of a sudden they get peed on by a shower of water coming down on top of them. Perhaps the local hobos, if there are any there, will come in and take free showers at night. Hey, he might have unintended consequences that he wasn't ready for. Maybe kangaroos will come in and take a free shower too. It's Australia after all, but hey, I gotta say, where there's a will, there's a way. People were peeing in his driveway, so he figured out a way to get them soaking wet and make them go away. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.